Hey, don't ever underestimate the connection between thought and circumstance. Hey kids, Randy back with another episode of the podcast, and let's talk about the link between expectations and manifestation. Of course, if you've read James Allen, you know about that tremendous connection between thought and circumstance. And in this week, I'd like to look at the connection between expectations and circumstance. If you have seen any studies, research done with athletes at the highest level, there's extraordinary increases in performance when they're able to visualize themselves doing something, whether it's a basketball player shooting a basket, baseball hitter hitting a 103-mile-an-hour fastball, all across the sports spectrum. And these kind of studies have been replicated in every other potential field of success, everything from climbing mountains to taking companies public, from everything, really everything. And this is really borne out by my own experience, studying the principles of prosperity and coaching people into how to become more prosperous for like 30 years now. There is a link between expectations and belief. And belief, when you develop the belief, that's why, when they like basketball players, they might miss a lot of free throws. So then they would do experiments where they were just visualizing in their mind, shooting the free throws effectively. And their results went up. And why I think it's because their subconscious mind just got programmed with the idea of, yeah, I shoot the ball up, it goes into the basket. And it sounds simplistic, but it's really kind of profound. Your subconscious mind, it doesn't rationalize, analyze, critique. It just does what it's programmed to do. If you expect to have success, you have a much greater degree of achieving that success. When two teams equally matched meet in a sporting event, I believe the team that expects to win more has a higher level of belief in winning, in their chances of winning. I think they prevail a huge percentage of the time. So how do you do that? Let's talk practical application. You say, all right, Gage, I'm in. How do I do that? I want to get promoted more. I want to start a successful business. I want to make more money. I want to reclaim my health. I want to have better relationships. I want to be a multi-millionaire, whatever. First, 1, 2, 3, 4 things I would think about. Number one is expanding your window. We talk about that a lot on some earlier shows, right? It's expanding that window through which you see the world through. For me, probably began when I was early 20s, and I started getting the Robb Report magazine and Architectural Digest magazine and exotic car magazines. And I just started expanding my vision of the world, and went from a guy whose idea of when you buy a car, you save up $200 and you buy a used car at an auction, which is what I did. I would buy a $200, $300 car. And then your vision is expanded and you say, are you kidding me? There's people who spend $200,000 for a car, but your window gets expanded. And one day you're saying, are you kidding me? There are people who spend $2 million for a car. And you read Architectural Digest and you see some gorgeous dream home and it's $850,000. And maybe your point of reference up then had been $160,000 for a house. You expand the window. The second thing I think is really important is you upgrade your posse. You upgrade who you hang with. You really mindfully choose how much time you spend with people who pull you down to your base you, and you want to expand the time you spend with people who inspire you and perhaps inspire you to become a higher version of yourself. You want to hang around with happier people, healthier people, more successful people, because again, this kind of impacts your subconscious mind, and it increases your expectations of what you're capable of. And of course, daily self-development time. I've talked about this 16,427 times so far on this podcast, and I will do another 5 million before I'm done. It's probably the biggest turning point for me came when I started doing daily self-development in the morning and expanding my prosperity consciousness. And the other thing I think you should look at is just case studies, like see examples of people who do this. And by this, I mean the thing you want to do. So there are people who started up new company 8 months ago. They've got 30 employees or 60 employees, and they're now receiving investment and being valued at $1 billion in 6 months. And if you're like I was, and you saved all of your pennies together till you could buy a really cheap restaurant that just was takeout and delivery only, and you spent years in it and it appreciated by 2.6% after 10 years, and then you say, wait a minute, there's people opening businesses and they're creating so much value for the world that with a 60 employee company is worth $1 billion. And I had a restaurant with 13 employees or 22 employees, and it was worth $150,000. It expands your window. So it's like case study. And a great way to do the case studies is simply reading biographies of successful people, reading biography of people who have done the kind of things that you want to do. And this is what I mean that, go back to James Allen, the connection between thought and circumstance, the connection between what you expect and then what you believe. Because when you increase the degree of what you believe, you increase the degree of what you attempt. And that, my friends, changes everything. You really do. You expand your vision a little more. You have a higher level of success that expands your vision a little more. You have another higher level of success, and you create a vicious cycle of success. And I want you to know this is not woo-woo. This is real world. This is physiology. This is psychology. This is simply the mechanisms of how we train our brain to think and what kind of consciousness we develop, the energy we emit by the consciousness. Everything at its ultimate level is energy vibrations. And we know energy can repel or energy can attract. And when you work on your conscious mind and you develop more prosperity consciousness, you open up a bigger window through which you see the world, you create higher expectations for yourself, you really do manifest a more prosperous life. So thanks for watching or listening. Please rate, comment, share. I put on the camera, so you guys on YouTube, I want to hear from you in the comments. Go out and have an amazing day, guys. Peace.